we launched the Global Lockdown Content Showcase, we wanted to celebrate brands that were creating value for audiences through creativity, through the massive restrictions that lockdown presented. And a really great example we saw from the DACH region was from Cisco WebEx with their agency Apercus. And I'm really delighted to be joined by both today to talk about this campaign more. So this is one of the winners of our showcase. So firstly, congratulations on what was a brilliant campaign. Could we start off by, please, could you introduce yourselves, what your role is and how you all work together?
Sure, I'm happy to go first. I'm Nicole, I'm the country marketing manager for Cisco Switzerland. We've actually been working with Kai and Apercus since this campaign started. This was actually the kickoff to our partnership, and it was a really interesting story because he contacted the team in Germany, they passed on the details, and it ended up with me. And I remember now, the first call we had, I was literally running around with the kids. It was all noisy in the background. Kai calls me back, and we're kind of starting to discuss this idea. And I think it was very clear from the beginning that we both wanted to make this work. And we did. And we had such a short amount of time. I think it was 4 weeks all in all to turn it around, but it so much paid off.
So, Niema?
Yeah, so once the idea actually then came into place, let me maybe start introducing myself first. So my name is Niema Nazemi. I'm leading the collaboration team in Switzerland and for the central region for Cisco. And once the idea came up to do the first TV show for Cisco Switzerland, then of course I was fire and flame. There's always, you know, the technical aspects that you need to deliver, but also important how we put a story together, how we put a messaging together, how we can execute on that, and then finally also deliver on the ideas, creativity that came then from Nicole and from Kai, and it was quite an interesting ride and learning, and a great success.
Yeah, I'm Kai, and I'm running an agency called Apercus in Cologne, Germany. And I met these perfect guys from Switzerland called Nicole and Niema when I started to plan the TV show called Wir Sagen Danke. That means something like we say thank you. And we just tried to do something against the they were not able to do any shows anymore, and people were quite upset. They were sitting at home and weren't able to do something, and we created a show where we just wanted to thank lots of people that just everyday heroes in Switzerland that did perfectly jobs like nurses, policemen and stuff. And we didn't want to do a show in an empty tent. We wanted to do a show with an audience, but we weren't able to have an audience inside of the tent. So we figured out that there would be a virtual audience, and that would be a great solution to do this. And so the artist and the rest of the crew can interact with an audience like in a normal show. And so we figured out that it would be a great thing to do a video wall with Cisco WebEx video conferences. So we just put them on live, like 25 persons each. So we had 2 big screens and started the show with an audience there.
Right, and so this was called the, if I recall, Corona TV Gala.
Yeah, Wir Sagen Danke is the Corona TV Gala. It was just one show, actually.
Great, and so how long was the show? How long did it last?
90 minutes.
Wow, okay. And so what, were there any kind of insights that led you to come up with this particular idea and the format and how you actually went about it?
Actually, we noticed like a big insecurity anywhere during the first weeks and months of the COVID-19 crisis. Stars weren't allowed to have shows anymore. The theater company themselves had canceled all the shows, and people couldn't leave their homes. So you remember that time, and everyone was quite scared of what was going on there. So everyone was watching the news all the time, and new infection numbers and what's going on here. But there was also a big solidarity growing, and we wanted to show it, and we wanted to give some hope and bring joy to the people again, and make them smile and enjoy for a moment, and just forget about the crisis just for 90 minutes. I think we were just, maybe we did it. I don't know, actually. Maybe we were successful in this
I'm
case.
sure you did.
Yeah.
From a brand perspective, I guess, Nicole and Niema, what were the main objectives from your point of view?
So we are still traditionally known as a very enterprise focused business. So, you know, we are for the kind of Fortune 500s, which is kind of one of the challenges we see in a day-to-day marketing with Drive. And also we are traditionally known for networking, right? So this is kind of always, again, the strength we have. But all the other solutions we offer, you know, where we connect, secure, and automate everything, you know, that's enabling in the cloud, is kind of lacking. So this was a fantastic opportunity for us to showcase what else we do and also bring it to life. Because B2B is not very emotional most of the time. So it was a fantastic opportunity to really bring to life something so unique and showcase what technology enables. And this is also so close to our heart, what we do at Cisco. It's not about the products per se, but it really is about what they enable and the difference they make. And I mean, what a better showcase for us than this, where, as Kai said, we kind of had so many different parties, right? We had the heroes we wanted to thank. We had the empty venue at Selck. We had all the artists that are struggling to perform. For them, I mean, I will still remember today the exciting faces and the delight they had to being able to perform in front of an audience. I'll never forget that. And it's really great to kind of see how everything really came together so nicely with WebEx. And because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a commercial aspect, it was really all the parties coming together and having one goal to achieve, and that was the end result. And yes, it was an incredibly exciting time.
And when you look at just on the product placement by itself, I mean, you do not actually notice during the TV show, you know, that it was a WebEx platform. I mean, the focus we really relied on that, as Kai mentioned, we wanted to bring the people together. We wanted to show a video wall. We didn't want to put a big Cisco logo on top of it. The idea was really, you know, bring people into that tent, into the artist tent, into the gala tent, and that they just could have a nice evening enjoying themselves, looking at live performances of music stars, artists of Switzerland, and just having a good time. From our side, on a technical perspective, it was really a showcase to show that how flexible and agile the platform is. On one side, we had, you know, hardware that we placed at different homes. We had the people that just used the software client. So it was a big mix on, you know, that everybody could join as they wanted to and have a great experience. And what you have to keep in mind, you know, today, almost a year after the first lockdown, everybody knows how to use the tools, right? I mean, whether it's Microsoft or it's Zoom, whether it's Cisco WebEx, it does not matter. Everybody or almost everybody touched one of those tools and interacts from the home office, social media, whatever. At the very beginning, it was not the case, right? I mean, we just had to ramp up of people learning and experience a new technology, not just on a business case, but also basically using for their private lives and showcasing how flexible such a solution can be, integrating also in a live gala and then basically producing a TV signal and broadcasting out onto the Swiss national TV. So that was quite an experience for all of us.
That's great. And I suppose, you know, like you say, traditionally B2B, but I guess this enabled you to actually reach different audiences. How much did you see of that in terms of expanding your reach and your awareness, and how important was that?
Yes, hugely. Because yes, obviously B2B, you know, is the core of what we do, but there's so much more to that. And I mean, you know, this starts with internally with our employees. I mean, you should have seen the delight for them to have Cisco, as Niema said, for the first time ever on Swiss national television. We actually, with this, we launched a new global brand campaign, The Bridge to Possible, and the focus on WebEx and the collaboration technologies. And there as well, for the first time, we had a kind of Swiss-German version of it, never been before, but it was such a great timing to kind of bring it all together and to kind of frame it nicely. And then, as you said, the audience helped so much in, you know, in reaching those younger individuals as well, right? This is from a recruiting point of view, but also, you know, for us, these are the future decision makers, right? I mean, those individuals that are now, you know, starting their degrees or thinking about what they want to do in the future. This is fantastic for us to showcase to them that, you know, there's a company out there that kind of drives these kind of advancements, and we'll be really delighted to see them, you know, have that message come across as well.
Yeah, that's great. I want to talk a minute about storytelling, because I think that was pretty core to this as well. You were telling people stories within this this amazing show. And you know, we think at the Branded Content Marketing Association that brand storytelling is one of the most powerful ways to engage people. Can you talk a little bit more to that in terms of how that played a part?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, storytelling is the most important key actually in brand communication. That's what we experienced, and in when we did We Say Thank You, Wir Sagen Danke. It's like it's elevating brand trust, and you must show the personality of a brand, and that's not possible in just showing facts or in benefits of a brand. It's just you need to give it some life. Is it the right word? Yeah, you have to give it some life. The customer must see the connection between like a brand and the product, and it's so it gets to life. And the story behind the show Wir Sagen Danke was to give hope and bring back joy to all the living rooms and homes for everyone. And we were able to do this with Cisco, and that was like a great thing with storytelling, just to give emotions to WebEx and to the people at home. That was a great thing.
Great. And so obviously this was done because of lockdown, but it was also done during lockdown. What were the practical restrictions of going about getting this actually done? How did you overcome those obstacles?
It was awful. Yeah, once I wasn't even able to cross the border because I worked from Germany, and once I had to come to go to Switzerland, I wasn't able to cross the border because everything was shut down. And but practically in the tent, it was yeah, there was so many restrictions to look at. Like the most important issue was like keeping distance. Actually, that was, you have a crew and you have to see how you can actually do a show like this. There are like 50 people around this tent, and you need to see that everyone keeps distance during the whole production. So Cisco was great because how many people were in there, Nicole, from Cisco back then?
I think we were 3 of us. Yeah. We really went.
Okay.
Yes, I think we really went to the bare minimum, and everything in advance was completely virtually, right? Everything was organized, so the amount we met, everybody was on site for the set, and for us it was the same thing. I mean, we had some more, and Niema will add to that, or I'll let him explain the kind of complexities in delivering this, right? And what we had to do with our video endpoints to get them out. Was not easy because they were obviously highly in demand. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to have these, the show was set up, maybe we need to explain, we had the virtual audience, which all dialed in via the client, as Niema mentioned, but we had actual 7 interviews. And we wanted to make sure we have the best possible quality for this. So we had to deliver video endpoints to make sure we have the HD quality needed for broadcasting. So Niema, if you maybe want to elaborate on what we did there.
Yeah, so exactly. So for us, because it was once in a lifetime experience, and we did not have any experience before what TV is and what quality they need, we wanted to ensure that we really get the best possible quality for the one-to-one interviews. With that, yes, we have software clients, as Kai is probably using one right now, or you, Rebecca, as well. which is a great quality. We can have HD as well. But we thought then when we go live on Swiss national television that we want to really deliver the best that we can that Cisco can offer. This is with a dedicated video endpoint. So this having said, what we actually did, because the Cisco Switzerland office, like many offices as well, they were in lockdown. So our own hardware that we have basically in the offices were not used, and we were asking people, our staff, our employees, our peers, to help us basically place those video endpoints all across Switzerland, right? I mean, and that even that was a logistic. I don't want to call it nightmare, but it's not something that we do on a daily basis, right? I mean, we have our partners that are very skilled with that and do that together with us. But this time we did it directly. So basically, we ripped everything out at our Cisco offices and placed it at each single home. And even those people, I mean, they are not IT affine, right? I mean, when you come with a video endpoint, so what should they do with that, right? So we help them to set it up. We help them to train them. We help them that when the call is taking place, that they are ready. And it works smoothly. I mean, we had people of all ages, you know, they had fun with the video endpoint. Once everything, the connection was set in place, you know, we had one big meeting room where all the 50 or 60 people were actually in that meeting room. And while they were not live on TV, we had like almost like a big private party in those rooms entertaining those people.
Yeah.
I mean, we can show you pictures of people, you know, they had their drinks, they even had costumes on. We had big fans of artists, you know, with their fan article, with pictures, with autograms and everything. And it was a big party the entire night. And once, you know, the people came live, the one-to-one interviews, then, you know, we delivered the best that we can do. And it really showed, you know, I mean, we could produce a TV-ready signal that actually then was taken into the production TV studio which then got broadcasted on Swiss national television. That for us was quite an exciting thing to deliver such a professional signal and service to a TV studio that you can broadcast this on national TV. And I'm not talking about, you know, what you see on all those interviews that you see on, whether it's on CNN or whatever TV show, they bring people in where you exactly see that the quality is not right, it's flickering, you know, the voice is not good. It was a TV-ready, TV-grade signal, and for that we were very proud of.
Well done.
I'm sorry, I'm very proud of Cisco when we at that point, because they had the courage to do a thing like this. It was really an honor to work with you guys, because you did a perfect job and you had the courage to do this. And I'm still so proud of this one, that we did this in 3 weeks, and Cisco did so well. It was just a joy to work with them, and they were really building lots of bridges to possible in this time, because it was a real adventure back then. I just remember all the pictures when you noticed that, when you mentioned that, with the happy people on the wall. And there were people from Paris, there were people from Germany on this wall. My mother was on the wall. And she was so proud that she was able to manage to this. She's over 70, and it was her first video conference call. So there was lots of emotion on our side as well. Lots of people there that were so happy that this worked so perfectly, and that was a job of Cisco, because it was just perfectly done.
That's amazing, really amazing work. So apart from actually the accomplishment of getting this done, which seemed like a massive feat, what other results did you see in terms of, you know, from a branding point of view, engagement, any other kind of results that you've got from this that you can speak to?
Yeah. So for us, as we said, you know, throughout, this was a first. So we really didn't know what to expect. But the feedback and the kind of return we got was incredible, because when you obviously we had the TV element of it, which was great. I think we had an increase of 50% more viewers compared to what they would have had in that time on the slot. So it was really resonating incredibly well. But then on top of that, which is something you just cannot count for, was all the social media and the PR coverage, right? First, you have all these celebrities on there, for them, an absolute first, and a performance again, and the sheer excitement of having that opportunity and this innovative project. Then there was a lot of press coverage as well. Again, it was such a first, and for us as well, we were very much focused traditionally on the kind of IT focused media, right? I mean, all these magazines we now got covered in, where all these celebrity magazines and the kind of really B2C aspects, which we would never have featured in before. And again, this was such a great opportunity to kind of expand our reach and to have the coverage there. And it was really, I mean, the coverage was incredible throughout. And from our side as well, we have a great platform internally where we can engage our employees to share. So it was just, kind of this vast spread of the messages throughout, and the innovation that brought with it that really kind of spread that message across different channels.
That's amazing.
And obviously on top, which I've just highlighted, was the TV advertising, which we've never done before, and that gave us a huge reach as well.
Brilliant. So has this created any kind of legacy for you? Is there any future plans to develop anything like this further?
Yeah, so I mean, with the experience that we gained, on one side, on the technical side, but as well, the context that we actually could create on the storytelling together also with Kai and Nicole. I mean, we developed quite rapidly in the new market, basically, right? I mean, that's a new show format. Yes, I mean, in the past we had remote viewers as well. But now this is something like those hybrid events due to Corona, I think is something that might even go on in the future, right? In one way or the other. I mean, what we figured out very fast is, and we got the feedback actually from the TV studios as well. In the past, you had to set entire TV crews, a 2 or 3 man crew, to a remote location, which can be quite expensive. Now with the new tools that we have, and the quality that we can deliver, including the security as well on top of that, I mean, that's a viable solution to bring down cost as well. So even when it's not maybe in such a large, big format as we had with Selck now, I think going on into the future, seeing that what we can deliver on such a very agile and flexible platform, this is something I think we will see much more in the future as well. And the Selck was the first one. We did the second one, basically, where it was called Stars and Helden. And now we're even in the third one. So actually this week, we will do and support the third iteration of Das Selck. And the highlight really due to the fact that we were able to do Das Selck in our first one, and the experience that we get or have gotten is basically the Swiss Music Awards. I mean, that was quite an interesting feat that we could do. It was the largest thing that we do, and it was a live event. So we even go one step further. Before it basically was recordings, and then on the Selck it was recordings that was then streamed on national TV. For the Swiss Music Award that actually took place a week ago, we were live. And even that was quite interesting as well. I mean, you feel the pressure going on, right? When entire Switzerland is looking for the Swiss Music Awards, and yes, it's not as big as the MTV Awards or whatever, but it's, for Switzerland, it's important. You feel the pressure that when you're in a live show, you need to really trust the platform and the people doing this. And it worked out well. And I think when we look, the feedback that we got from the people, from the crew, it was throughout positive. They were very happy on what we could deliver. And yes, I mean, I think at least starting with the Selck and now with the Swiss Music Award, we could create a legacy, at least for now, hopefully. And then let's see what's coming on in the future.
Amazing. I look forward to seeing that. So yeah, I have one more question left, which is just, have you got any advice for any other brands that are wanting to embark on anything, whether it's as ambitious as that, or even just in the area of anything, any advice you'd give, particularly when it kind of comes to content?
I think the most important thing about content marketing is to show the authentic side of the personality of a brand. Actually, content marketing has the job to make the brand be part of the people's lives and create a feeling and understanding the brand and its products. And the most important thing we learned during the pandemic crisis is that you need to have some courage to do some things like Cisco and to do something new and go with the circumstances, even though you may be leaving the comfort zone and risk something. The customer will be with you, and they will see that you took some risk and you were running for these ideals. And I think that's very important for content marketing there, taking a risk and be successful.
Great.
And I think the advantage of having different people with different backgrounds is the key to success. You know, that you really have like the three of us, right? I mean, we had a common goal, but we are completely different. You know, I mean, I got a technical background. Kai is the storyteller. You know, Nicole has a marketing focus, and each one of us in our, I call it silos, are very good in what we are doing. But opening up the silos and talking to each other and challenging each other. I mean, I can tell you, I mean, I challenged Kai quite a lot, and he challenged me back, right? Because usually on a technical side, you know, you want to be more secure, right? You are fully aware that when something goes wrong, it has a brand, it can have a brand damage. I mean, imagine, you know, we could not deliver what Kai and Nicole actually thought it would be possible, you know. And I think the dialogue, the conversation, the challenging each other, this is something very important. And once you find a common ground and agree on this is the goal that we want to do, I mean, what Kai said, you need to be ready to take some risk as well, you know, and see what is possible. And once you do this step, and I think each one of us had to do this step, once you go out of that comfort zone, I mean, creativity is crazy, right? When you have 3-4 people that you know, the ideas just came out, and we had to basically stop ourselves, saying, you know what, we need to focus on one thing and deliver this. So I think talking to each other and having the diversity in something is key to success in my eyes.
Great. That's fabulous. Thank you. Well, we're going to take a little look now at some video highlights of the gala. But thank you so much for your time. It's great to understand more about what was behind this and the thinking. And yeah, I hope that the legacy carries on and we see some more stuff from you, because yeah, it looks great. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you
so much, Rebecca.
Okay.
Switzerland was one of the first European countries affected by COVID-19. For theatre company Das Selck, entertainment is at the heart of what they do.
Since March, we were no longer allowed to play public live shows.
Despite the circumstances, they wanted to put on their most ambitious performance to date. A one-of-a-kind show celebrating frontline workers, using technology to bring the audience from home to the tent. Broadcast live on TV 24. Wir Sagen Danke.
And so we saw the opportunity to get a virtual audience in the room with the video wall and this Cisco WebEx conference system.
How did we seamlessly connect a live performance to an audience of people all across Switzerland?
We are very excited that Cisco is doing this with us together, because in times of Corona it was quite hard to realize shows like this.
On one side we have the technology, but I mean the technology actually is in the background. I mean, we would like to create emotions, we bring people together.
And I would like to say thank you to the Swiss people for the solidarity of the last month. Merci, grazie, danke.
Between thanking a nation and entertaining one, there's a bridge.